नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणि विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा वसुदेवं सुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं हरि ओम् कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्. So we resume our Gita talks today, and the topic for today is Samata. Anybody, can you tell me something this topic relates? How does it relate to you? What is this?
Ji, what is Samata ji?
What is Samata? In the Gita, it has come in different places. Krishna says in the, I think, Samatvam Yoga Uchyate. I think it is in which Adhyay? Probably the second Adhyay, I think. Balance or equanimity, no? That is Samata.
Okay ji.
Yes. Sama. Sama means oneness. Yes, Shashiji, would you like to add something?
I just wanted to say my understanding
I'm
may
unable
have
to hear you, Ji.
crossed
Sorry, I can't
quite a
hear
bit,
you.
but uh, my um, my
I'm, una-
understanding of
I'm unable to
samatha
hear you,
is
Shashiji. If you're speaking,
oh,
your device is not audible.
okay, okay, sorry. Okay, can you
All
hear
right.
me
Well, probably
now?
the technical issue will be solved. Is it? Yes, Shashiji?
Can you hear me now?
Too soft. It is far too soft. Like the volume is on very low.
Oh, okay. Must be the weather. We've got a storm here.
I don't know what happened.
Basically,
No, Ji, it's not
basically,
audible.
can you hear me?
Too soft. It is very soft. So maybe I think there's something you want to reset or something. You can try that.
Okay, I'll.
Yeah. Yes. So yes, anybody would like to share something? What is Samatha? What do you think about it? Till probably Shashiji is wanting to share something. Her technical issue will probably get resolved, and then she'll join us. See the 48th shloka of the second adhyay. Krishna says, "Yogastha kuru karmani sangam tyaktva dhananjaya siddhaya siddhayoho samo bhutva samatvam yoga uchyate." So Krishna is saying this samatva itself is the way of yoga. Yogeshwara is giving the secret of yoga. He says yoga is samatha. If you look at the meaning of this, it means perform your action in this yogic way. All attachments, Arjuna, you must throw away. From accomplishments and loss, find your release. Then shall you attain the yogic poise and peace. This is one of the places where Krishna talks about samatha, and this is yoga. If you are practicing samatha, oneness, equanimity at all times. So, Vijayaji, what do you think of this samatha? Is it, when do you think we need it, or do we need it?
Yes ji, 48th shloka. I'm just remembering what
Yeah.
I was actually thinking. Give me some time. I will get back to you.
Acha, okay. All right. Yes. And Shashiji has written that samatha is to do your duty without any attachments to the results. The question is, can we do that? Or is it useful? Yes, Shashiji is trying. Okay, let us see if your audio is working.
It's a little
Can you
difficult
hear
ji.
me now?
Oh,
No, Shashiji, it's too soft again. Maybe you want to log out and log in, maybe once you can
no,
try
she has
that.
I'll
to have
I'll
her
do that.
headphones on, I guess
If
ji.
you have a headphone, that would be easier.
No, I've got my hearing aids. I can't have both at the same
Okay.
time.
Oh, okay, okay,
All
okay.
right, Ji. So maybe the phone you can just try or try that as a reset.
I'll I'll leave and
Sure.
come back.
Yes, please. Yes, please. Yes, Vijay, you were adding something. Yes.
Yes, ji, doing your duty without attachment is a process. That's what I have felt so far.
Okay.
Um, can be achieved or not? I don't know, but the process itself purifies you. It is not.
Okay.
It might be a one thing that we look at as a non-attachment, but the process has a lot of things where you change. You just transform, leave things
Mm.
that is not right, and understand that there's something beyond us which can really we have to learn and grow, and we are always in zero. We said nothing is in our
Yes.
hands, yet everything is in our hands. That process of learning is what I felt. I mean, the journey of Samantha.
Samatha. Okay. Samatha is like oneness. Now, oneness of everything, experiencing a oneness. Oneness and sameness is the same, or oneness and sameness are different things? Anybody?
Two different things.
Yeah, we can hear you very well, Shashiji. Happy to hear that. Yes. Yes, Ji.
uh, Oneness is unity, sameness is similar. There
Similar,
is,
isn't it?
yeah.
Okay. I think there was some very famous author's son or daughter. I think maybe it's Leo Tolstoy, I don't know, had asked the mother and told that the only solution is when everybody should be speaking the same language, should have the same everything same religion, same language, everything. That would be the only solution to the world's problems. In that time, the mother had, I think, responded that that would make the world a very boring place because everything is same. So, but being one is so important. This samatva bhava. If you have this oneness, then you will not think, no, my Kauravas and my Pandavas. You will stop so many Kurukshetras. Not these are my Pandavas and they are the Kauravas, or these are my Kauravas and they are not mine. This aspect of samatha is very, very essential. Because of this, this aspect was even highlighted by all our Rigvedic rishis also. Means in the Rig Veda, there are different suktas to various devatas. We have Agni, starts with Agni, then there's Agni, Mitra, Varuna, Indra, Bhaga, Ila, Saraswati, Aryavan, so many such devas, Vishwa devas, many gods are called also. Sometimes two gods are invoked. But the final verse which the Vedic rishis, if you see the Rig Veda, it is considered to be the Sanjnana Suktam. It says Samano mantra samiti samani samano mana samachitta vesha, means all this chitta, let the consciousness be one. Let us agree. Means after all, they're asking, let us understand each other, let us live together, let us prosper and not fight. That was the great aspiration of the Vedic rishis. My question is, have we fulfilled the aspiration as mankind? The first book, the first Rig Veda is talking about this. May we agree, may we be in joyous communion. Have we inherited the will of the Vedic rishis? Or it is still waiting for the inheritance? Anybody? Yes, Chitraji was saying something? Yes.
Still waiting. They're not fully there.
This aspect of the Vedic Rishi's inheritance, we still see many times, isn't it? That oneness is not yet. Sometimes you see in your own home or in an apartment system, or if you go larger, maybe city, or no, it's very difficult to find that oneness. But Krishna says that only is the way of yoga, samatva, having that oneness, which will allow you to see oneness everywhere. Oneness in good times, oneness in bad times, or that samatha in good times, we can say. Samatha, oneness is oneness with the highest consciousness. If you are connected with the highest consciousness, will you be worried about good time and bad time?
No.
Because you are connected with that highest consciousness, you understand this is also a time given by God. The divine has given me. One day he gives me spicy food, another day he gives me sweet food. That is the divine's wish. I have to just understand it is the divine's. So and experience that and go ahead. But keeping that is very difficult, but that is the main challenge of yoga itself. That is why Krishna keeps saying, he says so nicely, Yogastha kuru karmani sangam tyaktva dhananjaya. because we have a tendency to quickly associate and get attached. Oh, this person speaks like me. This person thinks like me. This is my friend. This person does not think like me. This person contradicts with what I think. So this person becomes my enemy. This person is challenging my existence. This person is the greatest threat to me. So this person becomes far away. Another person becomes a friend. But that is where it is going to somewhere or the other attachments. As human beings, we have to keep fighting a different type of Kurukshetra day in and day out. It is like you're asked to go into a swimming pool and you're told not to get wet. Is it possible? It's like that. Don't have attachments, Krishna is saying to us. But we are human beings, so we will keep getting this. But every time we have to quickly try to detach from it. Stop forming these attachments and connect to the divine. And if we can do that, Krishna elsewhere in the Gita says you become like the Padma Patra. Padma Patra is anybody?
Lotus
Yes, Rashiji.
in
It is lotus leaf. And you see how the lotus leaf is? What the water does not cling on to the surface, it remains like pearls on the surface. Means it is in water but is not being wetted by water. Water cannot wet it. What a beautiful achievement it has got. Well, that is exactly what human beings can achieve. Krishna has shown the example by himself taking the avatar. Krishna has taken the human avatar, asking us to follow his lead. When everybody started saying, or he knew everybody will say, "Ah, Krishna, we cannot follow you. You're already God." Then he said, Acha, okay, here's one more example. Look at Janaka. Janaka is not too far away. Janaka Raja, who was surrounded by wealth. Janaka had all the riches which any human being will sometimes pine and dream and aspire for. He had all of it, and yet he was not attached to it. And so he was available for the divine to do the divine's works. Because when you are having attachment to your own personal whims, personal fancies, personal thought, sometimes a very good project comes to you and you suddenly get attached to it thinking, I am the doer. I have to do it. And that without your knowing that I comes in. And then you lose the connect with the highest I. The Aham Brahmasmi is the highest Aham. But the ahankar of the individual is the smallest one. It is like comparing an ant and an elephant. It is as simple as that. We have to always, if the samatva means that samata must be there, that oneness of consciousness with the divine that we have. Do we have it? And can we keep it is the biggest question. Say you get a first prize and people come and congratulate you. Congratulations on getting this first prize or first achievement. Many times you say, oh, no, I didn't do anything. It's sometimes easier, isn't it? When you get the first prize to detach from it, somewhere you can show some humility and say, ah, it's all right, I didn't do much. But when you are the last person in the race, can you become, can you practice samatha? When is it easier? Anybody? Yes, Vijayaji.
I don't know when is it easier, but if it
Ha,
was the way you think, and I mean, I'm not looking that as a humility, but if
yeah,
that was the way you really start thinking, or rather
yeah,
understand that that's the truth,
ha,
you know what, that creates something different. Because this is, you
okay,
told me this, I'm telling you this. Today is Ekadasi.
ha.
That's the, I mean, in my experience, I hated people who are doing Ekadasi. I mean, you are
First, you
seeing as
mean
a
the
softer
fast of
Vijaya. Yeah,
the,
you are seeing a softer Vijaya, which is like Krishna occupied. But
okay, yeah.
previously, I'm not so. I was less like a lioness. So if I talk something, nobody can give me a back reply because it'll be logical, and sound also would be out of the world. And I used to shout at my father-in-law, mother-in-law for not eating,
Oh
especially the
wow, you could
husband
shout at
also.
your father-in-law and mother-in-law. That's a great luxury.
What is this like you're doing? This is not at all fair. You're killing your health, which God told you not to eat. Blah blah blah, all those
Okay,
things.
okay,
Just out of love, because I don't want them. They are 60, 70 plus, and I don't want them to, take, I
okay,
mean, not eat and keep what. And my
right.
father-in-law will give some explanation which I will not agree. But I thought that it was right. Everything was logical, and that was, even now I understand those things are logical. But the moment you feel that there is something beyond us, and
Hmm.
something that is not in our hand that actually operates. That feeling actually, in my experience, dissipated all the questions. I still do not
Okay.
have any answers for it, but it is possible when you leave that and then think you are not by yourself. Something else is making you do it, and your work
See,
is just to make, I mean, trust it and keep going. So in
this is
case
from your
this helps.
experience of, I recognize that I understand that you have been holding Ekadashi Vrata very often, isn't it?
Yeah, regularly so far, touch wood ji, except for my
It is what type
pregnancy
of
times.
vrata? Is it a vrata with means nirjala or jala and no food, anna?
No ji, so far it was nirjala.
Nirjala, this is a very difficult vrata, means not even water.
Had I
And
seen
I know
somebody
this
doing
because
it,
once
yeah.
I had a chance to randomly, Vijayaji in Chennai, I had gone for some work in search of some herbs. She came to know I was going there, so she said she would like to meet, and I did not know it was her brother. So then she told, "I'll get you something," and she got some food, and I was very feeling awkward because how can I eat? And she said, "Let us." I said, "Okay, come on, let us at least have tender coconut," because I thought nobody will have a complete Nirjala Vrata and do all the other activities of the day. So she came with me, and then after I got the coconut cut. She said, "I won't take even tender coconut." I was shocked. I mean, how is she doing all the activities of the day and still managing? Because, well, that is something. And now, medical science is also working on this. They're understanding the importance of sometimes fasting is required. Our body is having it's a cleansing which takes place. And when you do it consciously with the smarana of the Devat of the Aradhya, it actually makes a lot of difference. But this is a very nice point which Vijayaji has raised. But my question is, when somebody praises you, I think it is easier, in my personal opinion, I'm saying, it is easier when you can do practice samatha when somebody is praising you. Oh, you're so good. No, 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 I'm not.
Even
Because
now you're
somewhere
doing the same thing, ji. So I have to
somewhere
tell
a
that it
trickle of
is.
that goodness you are trying to eat and yourself enjoy a little bit, knowingly or unknowingly, a portion of you. So that time you are not fully actually practicing samatha. But when somebody criticizes you, then is the real challenge, isn't it? You are the biggest fool in the world. Somebody you know, or some friend you have spent a lot of time with, you have spent talking, and suddenly that person does this, and what happens to you? What happens to samatha? No Samata there. You become you too, Brutus. This is not right. This is everybody is doing like this. This world is only such a place. This world is not a good place at all. Everybody is going to backstab. All these thoughts come in because again it is attachment. Because you are taking a little bit of credit when people are being so it's easier to become quiet because you are already having a full stomach. No, you have already done something good. You've got something. At that time it is. They say in Marathi, there's a nice saying, "Bharल्या पोटी तोटका अध्यात्म," meaning after eating a full meal, then it's adhyatma is very easy. It's nice to read certain philosophy. But if your stomach is very empty, you're hungry, then it's very difficult. Well, Samatha is actually having that same, whether your stomach is full or whether your stomach is empty, whether you're being criticized as the worst person or somebody who has done nothing good in the world at all, or you are being told that you are the next avatar, you are only Kalki avatar. Whatever, whatever is being told, you are not taking any portion of it only. A very nice bhava is there. If you can get into that, it will allow us to remain balanced, and that will allow us to practice yoga because we'll be connected only with Krishna. Because that time, what will be our bhava? I'm not the doer. If you are not the doer, where is the liability? Can there be a liability if you have not done anything? Where's the proof I have done anything? I have not done anything. So even if say a cop say you have done something and they've come to pick you up, you ask for evidence. Where is that evidence? And if you are really sure and confident that you have not done it, where is the thing to worry about? It is as simple as that. Na ham karta, hari hi karta. Simple. If you realize I am not the doer, who is the doer? Divine is the doer. What a useless work has been done. Yeah, divine did it. It's not mine. I am not actually taking, but that's a very difficult stage to reach. Many times we do all the nonsense and then we try to attribute it to God. That is what happens most of the places in the name of God. God wants this, God wants that. In God's name, we have to do this. This has to be done. Whether it has to be done for God or it is to be done for that man who's thinking it has to be done for God, that's the biggest question sometimes. So the aspect until we get the practice of samatha, this oneness, we will not be able to move ahead. But this is what we should actually think about discussing is what are the times when samatha has been thrown away? If we look at that, at least we'll be able to probably, because we are all in different walks of life, we are living different experiences, but this is basically a sharing of some experiences so we can actually help each other because we are all after the same goal. One of us gets the sweets, I think we will share it with everybody. So why not try to give that experience? If anybody, which is the most difficult time you feel to have had samatha in your personal life? You don't have to have experienced Samata already also, but most difficult time if you would like to share something without having to share anything too personal. If you wish to also you can, but it is being recorded. So I would say as simple some moments which were very difficult and where Samatha was almost close to impossible or very difficult to practice Samatha. When was it? Anybody? Any such moment you can think of?
Well,
Yes, Ji.
um,
Yes, please.
the way I look at it, I was thinking earlier today that,
Ji.
Samatha, that do your deed and don't have any expectations of,
Hmm.
what you're going to get in return. In daily life, that's fine, but I was wondering, how does it work in a place of work? That
Hmm.
attitude that I'll
Okay.
just carry on doing my work and I'm not going
Hmm.
to worry about what I'm going to get.
Yeah.
This from personal experience is playing into the hand of your bosses or the company. If
Why
they
the
understand your
boss
attitude,
is
you never get the fruits anyway, because attitude is
no, this
that
person
one
does
does
not
it,
want a
let her
raise.
carry on.
This person does not want a raise. This person does not want a promotion. That
No,
way,
so
the boss is
you,
going to find out that.
yes, like I said,
Yeah.
personal
No, a
experience.
good
What
boss,
I'm
but I would say a good boss, if you see a good boss will identify good work and reward because that is actually required for the organization to move forward. Where an
But I
individual
don't
is
know.
no, then if it is a bad boss, we have to read the Gita and follow the Gita when Krishna says, Dyutam chalayatam asmi, I am the cunning in the gambler's deception. We have to, if the person is cunning, if the boss is cunning, is not sincere. Krishna says, make no deals with asuri pravrutti.
I
With
know.
divine, you can, why will do we go to the enemy and say, please, here is my back, stab me? Then we will have to use our viveka. We will have to, because Krishna says this beautifully in that even Vibhuti Darshana, he says, Dyutam chalayatam asmi. Shakuni understood how he thought Krishna is caught him in a game of gambling and he thought Krishna is now going to lose to him. And he was already calculating what's going to happen. But Krishna had already other calculations and he wanted him to be trapped in that game so he can further his
Mm,
other plan. Meaning, we
mm.
have to not be, just because we are sincere to the divine, does not mean we have to be naive to the world. Sometimes people take advantage of sincerity. So, what
It,
I think Shashiji shared about is an example of what probably, if we are sincere, we don't have to carry the certificate of sincerity to the world. We don't have to show it. We have to be too sincere to the divine, sincere to our swadharma, and keep moving ahead. But when we see such characters, probably later on when we look at, we will see about it in the like Asuri Pravrutti. Because somebody who is manipulating is not a divine person, isn't it? Or a divine trait, no? Somebody who is taking anybody else for granted. There we have to immediately enter into the practical aspect completely. Because Krishna says that also, where how do we identify what is there? There are deformations also in Prakriti. There is Vikara also in the Prakriti. While there's divinity on one side, this is undivine is also present. So they each has to be looked at. There are gunas which, you know, flow and what guna has to be handled, how, what is Rajas, what is Tamas, what is Sattva, how do we transcend? But so this point, what Shashiji has said is yes, it is a valid one that sometimes people take advantage of our sincerity. And so that becomes very difficult, isn't it, to practice samatha? But I remember one person whose team lead had decided to give a bad appraisal for that person, no matter what, because of personal ego. This person was very sincere and working very hard. And the choice was there that the team leads had even directly told you better leave this company. In my watch, I will not let you. I don't like you. That is the simple reason. Why I don't like also he didn't explain. He just said I don't like you and I want you out of this team. If you're not leaving, I'm not going to do anything and you are going to rot here. This person was very sincere and he said, I'm not going away just because this person is there. I will continue doing my duties. And something very interesting happened. There was some meeting where the seniors of that team lead also were present. And this person, there was a problem, and this person had a solution, and he perfectly gave the solution that even his team lead had to say, yeah, I only directed him to do this work. And he actually got such a appreciation afterwards that he could actually choose which team he wants to work in the same organization. Meaning he didn't get disturbed. He didn't get disturbed because the person, the organizer, is manipulating him because his connection is not with the organizer but with the divine organization. Maybe his organization may not have been divine, it was a different organization. But I'm saying when we see that the divine is everywhere, as Krishna says, Sarva Kshetreshu Bharata, when Krishna says, I am in every kshetra, every single kshetra of the world, I am the, he will be sitting in the any place you can just think of. Say you think of a hospital, well, yes, he might be the chief administrator of the hospital also. It could be the dean also. It could also be the clerk who is quickly doing a registration for you and ensuring that you actually your work goes ahead. That is the divine everywhere in every kshetra. We can probably find that link. But for that, we have to have the samatha. Because if we lose the samatha, we fret, we panic, we get into sorrow, we get into, what happens is when we lose samatha, we lose connection with the divine. And when we lose connection with the divine, what happens? Our ordinary talk becomes an absolutely loose talk only because we're
Mm.
not listening to anybody, we're not talking to anybody else except our own minds and our own thoughts are playing. Many times when people speak, you will see they're not really talking to you. They're just venting out what they feel, venting out whether or not you are receiving it, whether or not it's needed for you, it is just sent out. Well, that happens in so many places, even when you're doing work also, everywhere. That is why there's a disconnection, and that disconnection is what has to be removed, and we need to get a good connection with the divine. And that is only the samatha we can say. Unless we get that connection with the divine. Then just imagine if you think Krishna is with you at all times. Will you get worried? Oh, this person is behaving like this. No, no, it's all right. I can't tell Krishna. I'll tell Krishna now. You see what he's going to do. Quietly, you don't have to tell it to that person. And then
We
Krishna
will
will
ignore
laugh and
it.
whisper. Yes, Sitaji?
We
Yeah.
will ignore it simply.
We will ignore it. We'll ignore it. And then you'll start giggling also when you see Krishna do something. When Krishna suddenly brings about a change which you didn't expect because he is doing it. He is your companion. He is your friend. He is your well-wisher. He is the father. He is the mother. He is the lover. All these experiences will come when you are connected. No, it's like now. Say we want to discuss with each other in the work or class. We need a Wi-Fi connection. No, if the connection is got gone, how am I going to talk to you, or how are you going to share something? We need that. So what we need is we need a password for connecting to it. So what is that password? Krishna says, Samatvam Yoga Uchyate. Simple as that. Stay connected with the divine, remain balanced. You will not get too excited, you will not get too depressed because God is doer. God is doing everything. It is so simple because this aspect is important. And this allows us to, if you see elsewhere in the Gita, also Krishna has told means how one must be. Means if you see the sixth adhyaya also, if I just take out the verse, if I can, from the Rhythm of Krishna book, I just open it. Hmm. Yes. If you see before that, we go to the sixth adhyaya, we'll look at seventh, eighth, ninth. Krishna talks about, means first he tells who is the friend and who is the foe. We can be our friend and we can be our foe, he says. We can be our best friend and we can be our worst enemies. How is this possible? Anybody, if you can recollect from the Gita, how can we be our friend? How can we be our foe? Krishna kind of throws a riddle at Arjuna as if he's like, already Arjuna is confused. He's trying to. It's a state, they make a, there's a common saying, no? If you can't convince, confuse. So is Krishna using that strategy? Saying you can be your friend, you can be your enemy. When is this? Anybody? When are you your friend and when are you your enemy?
Not knowing when to, if something is going wrong, not to add fuel to the fire, zip this
Okay.
up.
Okay, that is one time. Okay, that is sometimes when we are. It is like there was a beautiful t-shirt a friend had worn. Life is keeping your mouth shut when it is vital, and there was a show. There was a fishing rod and a hook, and a fish is keeping its mouth open. So if the fish knew to keep its mouth closed, it would not have got stuck onto that hook. Yes, that is true. But if you look into the Gita, this particular shloka, Krishna is trying to say, Atmaivar bandhuratmana, Atmaivar ripuratmana. When is the Atma your inner self? Your mind is your friend, your mind is your enemy. Your mind is your friend when you understand that there is this divine self inside of you, when you can understand, when you understand that yes, there is this self inside of me, I'm not going to get carried away. And when is that mind the biggest enemy? When it does not even know that there is a divine self. No, no, divine cannot be. I am so hopeless. I am like this only. Divine cannot function in me. I am just so limited and weak. This kind of feeling. Means because this comes to us, isn't it? Sometimes
Mm.
suddenly you're walking happily and you sprain your leg. Pain comes, isn't it? After that, oh, I can't walk properly. Sorry, Vijayji, you put a question there. What is it? Could you just share it?
No, I was just telling. You said
Your voice has
when
now
we are
gone
not.
down.
Okay.
Yeah, now it's better. Yes, please.
Yeah. Am I audible?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, I was just telling you told some time back that when you are not carried away,
Hmm.
right? But
Yeah.
when we are carried away with XYZ, those XYZs are the enemies. Probably
Hmm.
they develop only from our mind, like fear, ego, one
Yes.
letter, everything, one word that everything comprises ego, bad
Yeah,
ego.
means yes, yes. Sometimes we sit for meditation quietly, and suddenly, while you're sitting for meditation, only some thoughts come in which disturb you so much. And these thoughts disturb you so much. I'm such a bad person. I sat for meditation for Krishna and I got such bad thoughts. No, I better not sit for meditation only because I am very bad. There's got no meditation. If you just say these are not my thoughts, they came from outside, I don't identify with them. Will you not be able to at least continue and try?
Definitely, they will be a viewer.
Yes, we are not. Though, so it's like my mind is now channeled to some other frequency, some wrong channel is coming. I need to tune it little bit, change the radio, but I am not the owner of those thoughts also. Why should I get associate myself with it? Because sometimes our mind only brings the worst thoughts. You do not know. Opposite also thoughts come because that is a mold of human life. Mind has also been added. A khichdi of things has been created in this srishti for us in that mana, buddhi, ahankar, all of these are mixed in a very interesting way. So mind will sometimes, you go to the most auspicious place, you will be bowing down. It will be the most beautiful place you want to do a namaskar, sashtang namaskar, and that time you're like, what about that pakoda? Which chutney is there? What is wrong here? The mind is now connected elsewhere. So now you suddenly start thinking, you forget the act of going in that auspicious place, or you'll just try to say, no, these are not my thoughts. Raghavji wants to add something. Yes, please. Please. Or sir wants to add something.
Yes,
Yes,
yes, sir.
anybody.
Sir.
Yes, please, sir.
My father was asking, can we control the mind by working hard in the material life? Sir? What is by working hard in our material life, in our work?
Yeah, yeah, we can. But sometimes we have to be careful also that just we're not trying to, like, kids are sometimes kids get very excited. What does the mother do? She gives a toy. And then the kid keeps playing with that one toy only. My mother did something even funny. She didn't have the time and she used to go to hospital. So what she would do is she would give two glasses and in one glass she would give water. That's all. So I would pour from one glass to another. She had to look after the home, get and then go to the hospital. But for half an hour, I would keep playing with that water till all the water has spilled on the table, and then I used to play with the water on the table. What has happened here is I have now been fooled. Sometimes God gives us certain works in a way to fool us from the higher understanding. We are meant to do certain things, so we have to be some. In the work, we cannot forget the divine. If we are not forgetting the divine, that will allow us to go. Otherwise, everybody sometimes, I'm going to do this project. So next 15 years, I'll be doing one project only, and yet I'll be trapped in that and not, I'll be too busy for God also in the work. Because now I am doing the work. I am the Karta. Hari, no, no, I don't have time. See, this work you have only given, so I will not come to you also now. That is one, there is a way also. Karma yogis focus on the work only and they don't think of anything else. But sometimes there is a risk that we forget the divine. So if we remember the divine and do the work, why will undivine thought come inside only? Our mind will automatically get trained. Many times great archers don't have great control over their mind. But when they keep practicing archery quietly, a time comes when they just think of their bow and become quiet. They don't even have to hold it in their hand. That happens because of practice. And Krishna says, as Arjuna also says the same thing, Chanchala hi manaha Krishna. My mind is so chanchala, always running. Krishna says it's normal. That is right. He says abhyasena and vairagyena. Means practice, practice. So as Sir said, yes, with karma, we will keep practicing to make our mind strong, to make our mind so strong that it will not get carried away by the other thoughts, mostly by the indriyas. Rakiji wants to add something. Yes, please, Rakiji. Please feel free to unmute.
I was
Yeah.
saying now, through the
Uh,
day, we have
okay.
uh, through the day we have situations where we have to keep our mind focused and concentrate on doing good in each and every part. That time, automatically, the bad thoughts will resist to background. Will resist
Recede to the background.
background.
Recede to the background.
The
Yes,
background.
yes. Yes, yes.
That
True,
way,
true.
again, this is a
Yes.
process, no, sir, of the
Yes,
mind.
yes, Ji. Yes, Ji. Certainly, certainly.
Something else. That's oh,
Mara,
um,
Mara, Mara, you keep saying will become Rama also without your knowledge. The japa goes on continuously and it will suddenly turn because you're doing it with sincerity. Krishna also says, I don't care anything as long as you offer it with love and sincerity. Patram, pushpam, phalam, toyam, anything. Rakhi was sharing something. Please feel free to unmute ji. Yes,
Yeah,
ma'am.
what Raghviji said, uh, that you're focused on the action. You're focused on the action, you have the right knowledge, and if you're doing it with all your sincerity, is that not karma yoga?
It is Karma
It
Yoga,
is,
but
right?
what happens? Yes, ji. Yes,
Yeah.
Rakhi ji. You want to
Yeah,
add
yeah.
something more?
No, that is what
Yeah.
I wanted to ask.
Yeah, that is Karma Yoga, but Karma, if you see, can we say Karma Yoga can be done bereft of Bhakti Yoga and Jnana Yoga?
No, no, no. Everything has to be
Everything has to
in.
be done. So what
Yeah.
happens? Sometimes somebody is doing a particular work
Hmm.
because the person has a mind like everybody has a mind. That person develops attachment for the work.
Hmm. Hmm.
Then
Yeah.
that becomes a problem, isn't it?
Yes, 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 yes.
That is all that is the right way actually. That is the right way. Keep your mind, sometimes it's said keep your mind busy. They say empty
Yes,
mind is
yes.
devil's workshop. So
Yeah.
put things inside of the mind, all right. But after a while, as you proceed on the path, you must
Hmm.
go to a point where you are not going to be distracted by anything. You don't need to keep your mind busy to keep yourself free from distractions. That is the state which is the what Krishna even says in the Gita, it's called Jitendra. If we see, just if we were to look at one shloka of the Gita, how is that person who is the Jitendra? He has conquered whom? He's a champion. He's beaten a lot of people. No, he's conquered himself. Rakesh is adding something. Yes, please.
Yeah, yeah. I just wanted to say that only himself.
Himself.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes. The one who has conquered himself or herself, who's conquered the lower pull of nature, lower pull of Indriyas. Meaning I see somebody and I'm My eyes tell me something, and immediately I get carried away with something. See, I saw this person with that person. Now that person has formed a team with this person, so that city is no more my friend. Ho gaya. Or you hear something. This person spoke like this about me. That's it. Like that, our Indriyas, 100, our Indriyas, if you see, Krishna says 101 bonds of desire are there. Gita calls 100 bonds, Kathopanishad talks about 101 bonds. If you see Rig Veda, it talks about that if there's a sukta to Varuna, where the yogi, I think it is, if I'm not mistaken, it is Bhadwaj Rishi only, but he is invoking and saying, release the bonds that tie me to the bottom, release the bonds that connect in the middle, and even the bonds that bind me to the top. So I can be truly free. Meaning all bonds. Means Gita says, Asha Pasha Shatair Baddhaha. The Moha Jala is created by this Asha only. I helped five people. See, I'm a helper of five people now. I want to make it 500. So gone. The I has become Krishna wants to help five or Krishna wants to help 500. It is up to Krishna, isn't it? And can we say five is greater than 500 or 500 is greater than five? One great, I think, about Mahaperya was when Shishya was told to take Gita Varga. So he went to take a Gita Varga. He went to a temple. Very poor audience in the sense, attendance was very poor. Normally, very few people only want to sit quietly and listen to this. Everybody's busy. Same story everywhere. Same way he experienced. In the end, he saw only two people came for the entire workout. He took it with full dedication because he had told his guru that he went and then told that he just conveyed about, see, I had only two people. What did his guru say? At least you got one more than Krishna.
One more extra. Wow.
Because Arjuna was only listening the entire Mahabharata. You see, maybe somebody will say Barbaric also heard, Sanjay also heard, but in front of Krishna, who was sitting there and listening? Who was listening with Krishna, directly listening? Sakshat from the Yogeshwara is available, no? When you know the Yogeshwara is available, we go running to receive. We should go there. That is how. So many lakhs of soldiers, and yet nobody came running there. So he said, you're lucky. Because we must not have even the slightest of, if we are connected with the divine, first thing is we will understand we are nothing without the divine. And when we are fully conscious we are nothing without the divine, there cannot be any kind of moha or any kind of ahankar. Divine is without divine, I am nothing. That means where is my astitva without the divine? Can I have a separate astitva, individual existence without the divine? No. Isn't that a very humbling experience actually? It's like, oh, I'm doing this. And no, you just did nothing. You just moved around in the Kala Chakra. Things are moving. Somebody else has set the wheel in rotation. What you have done could have been done by anybody else also. It is just that you were here. Somebody arranged for you to be here and to do this work. Arjuna was also told, Nimitta Matra Bhava Savya Sachin. One more point, Krishna also told, even without you, I can finish this battle. He says, now these are slay, do your duty, because death is already written for them, for these Kauravas. You are just a nimitta matra, you are the medium, you are nothing more than that. Just the medium. Arjuna also, when he got very scared looking at the Vishwarupa, because he didn't relate with it, no? He lost his Samata, no? Looking at Vishwarupa only. I mean, who will not lose as a human being? Imagine we get a Vishwarupa Darshana. How many of us will say, aha, what a nice Vishwarupa Darshana? The entire, it's like inferno. This fire is just breathing from these mouths, and you're understanding it's so dynamic, changing continuously. The worlds are also are fleeing. Rudras are suddenly forgetting to scream and they are transfixed. Rudra itself, Uchair Ghoshaya Krandayate, that is Rudra, loudly like a storm. Even the storm forgot to move. That was how the description of Vishwarupa is there in the Gita. But there is only one set of people who are not afraid, according to the Gita only. when the Vishwarupa Darshana was being displayed. Arjuna, the dearest beloved of Krishna, Krishna says, I am among Pandavas, I am Arjuna, I am so best among the Pandavas, I am that Arjuna, Krishna says. And yet that Arjuna also was afraid of the Vishwarupa. Who was that? Who are those? Who are those who are not afraid? If you see, it's mentioned in the Vishwarupa in the Gita. Can anybody think of or recollect? Please feel free to unmute.
The learned ones.
Yes. The Siddha Sangha is the sloka, na? Siddha Sangha, they are not afraid only. All the others. So this probably what are they doing? They have become Siddha and they are already in Samata. Whether it is Vishwarupa or it is the Saumya Rupa, whether it is the Chaturbhuja Rupa or whether it is Krishna, what difference will it make? When Samata is there, then it will allow us to see with oneness, isn't it? What would they have thought? Sarve bhavantu sukhina. That's all they would have said looking at the Vishwarupa. Arjuna took a lot of time because Arjuna first thought, I am the doer, isn't it? He says, the Sanatan Dharma will get destroyed because Varna Sankara will happen, Kulakshaya, Mitra Droha, etc., etc., etc. He keeps on adding so many. It's like if he's now under Bharatiya Nyaya Samhita case 1, case 2, case 3, he's just adding so many sections to it. Okay, these are the problems that will take place. And he says, if I take part in the battle, this ethical standard of the world also will fall. Sanatan Dharma will get destroyed. And when he sees the Vishwarupa, then he says, Sanatanastvam Purusho Mato Me. He says, I'm scared you are the Sanatan guardian. Because you are there, this Dharma is Sanatana. Because you are so powerful and you are the guardian. That was the understanding which came later. But look at these yogis, they are in the state of samatha, and that is what we should try to cultivate. Whether Krishna comes to us in a rupa of Vishwarupa, whether he comes in Chaturbhuja Rupa, or whether or will we have a problem if he comes as an auto rickshaw driver? Yeah, iska, I didn't like his dress. No, 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 no. Will we say that if Krishna comes to us? What class is there? No class at all. Arey, Sarathi, Sarathi, no. He can go anywhere he wants, right? But we are so attached with outer objects. That becomes the problem. Our Indriyas, no, fool us. We call mirage, no. If you see, that is the one who has got samatha is not going to be fooled by Krishna. The person is going to, even if Krishna tries to fool this bhakta who is in state of samatha, he'll say, "Ha, how are you going to fool me? I know you're there." If you see Kathopanishad, what is there? Yama is so scary. He's talking about death. Everybody's afraid of death. Everybody's more afraid of Yama. It's okay. Oh my God, Yama will come like this. He looks like this. My grandfather, I remember, I had written a poem, not specifically for him, but it was about death, and I told death is like an angel with a lover's rose. She reminds you that she's ever so close. Only he who knows how to kiss her right, dare she never to put up a fight. And then only that person, and then when the person reaches out, she says, no, now is not the time. You have many more miles to go ahead and many promises to keep. Something like that. That poem was there. My grandfather read that poem and then he started laughing and he said, that's it. Now I have lost all fear of death because now death is an angel. I don't have to think of death as Yama. I was coming like this or like that. Because this is a balance, no? It is actually an inner balance. Unnecessary fears, panic, all this comes because of our attachments and fears, and sometimes they are rational and sometimes they are irrational. Many times there is no need to have any fear. We have to be careful and cautious, but we need not be fearful at all. But so many such things come in the way and they completely take us away from what is that state of samatha which Krishna wants us to cultivate in the yoga. He says you have to have that. You cannot lose it. If you lose it, you lose your consciousness of divine. You lose what we call the Krishna's consciousness. That's like losing the divine consciousness. Like somebody, how to understand it? It's like losing all the harmonies of life. If you are not connected, harmony of mind, harmony of body. Like we say, Goddess Lakshmi, no? She is the goddess of harmony, isn't it? When Lakshmi leaves, what happens? Oh, it's so bad. Everything becomes, it feels so
Chaos.
disturbing. Your beautiful flowers will suddenly stop flowering. Everywhere, sudden joy has disappeared because there's a loss. And Lakshmi leaves when there is this disharmony which comes because of lack of samatha. But when you have it, there are different ways to have it. It's something Shraddha is there, one full Shraddha in the divine that will allow us to keep calm. Yes, keep calm right now. It is divine who is working. He will find a way. I have done something wrong. Seek forgiveness sincerely from the divine, but keep calm. Don't lose the samatha. Then you can become what Krishna talks about. Like if you see the sloka, that person gets a peace because of samatha. The shanti will come naturally. And shanti is required at all times, even if you are fighting the biggest battle. Say you are sometimes some people are afraid of their own relatives. Oh, this elder, I can't speak in front of this person, is what they feel. What happens then? No, 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 our back history is there. So many sanskars, so many backstories, all of them are there. All right. And you want to tell a point. Suppose you want to say a point which is, it's completely contradictory to that person. If you try to go and say, you'll already think so many things, no chance of samatha only. But if you have inner quietude, no, with inner shanti, you try and speak. What is going to happen? You are already in a state of samatha. You're anyway going to get scoldings or not going to get. Both are not going to change or disturb you because then you will achieve the peace. And sometimes that inner peace is most important. Unless you get that peace, you cannot proceed. You cannot move ahead in the path of life also. And that is why Krishna tells you, just look, let us look at this shloka. We will just look at three more shlokas and then we conclude our today's discussion on samatha. If we say jitat manah prashantasya paramatma samahitah शीतोष्ण सुख दुखेषु तथा मान अपमानयोः. Who is this? The victor of the self experiences the perfect peace, and in that greatest oneness, all the fluctuations cease, neither in heat or cold, nor in loss or gain, and in honor or dishonor finds not he glory or pain. This person, if this person is reached that state of what we call the Jitatmana, somebody who has conquered himself, the victor of the self. One very great example, if we have so many devas, aradhyas for us to worship or follow their lead, best is Anjaneya or Hanuman only. How is he? Bajrang Bali is said to be the greatest Jitendra of all, isn't it? His greatest siddhi, all the Ashtasiddhis aside, he had the biggest siddhi greater than the Ashtasiddhis. That is he was the Jitendra. Jitendriya Buddhimatam Varishtam. He was the one and wisest among the wise because of his Jitendra nature only. If a very wise person loses the samatha balance, will that person continue to remain wise? This
As
person
soon
is
as he
very
finds
wise.
his balance
Huh?
again, as
Until
soon
he
as he
finds his
finds his
balance.
balance again.
Yes, yes. And that moment he loses the balance, that time he's lost the connection, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sometimes we get surprised. How did this person behave like this? That causes disturbance again in us. Our samatha is disturbed. I used to look up to this person so much. Now this person has changed everything. I lost all respect. That's a very common line. I've actually heard it so many times from my friends and other people, and sometimes strangers also. I've lost all respect for you. Are when did I get it? I don't know. I have not taken it, so I have not lost. I was just thank you for your opinion. Thank you for your comments. And all right. Just because somebody loses respect for me, why should I lose my own peace of mind? When he finds respect, it's like losing a key. My friend has lost a key. I remember I used to also in college keep searching around for a long time, searching for the key, and finally I would find it and get peaceful. So like that person has lost the respect. If he has to find it, he can just see, it fell outside her pocket. He will get it. When he finds it, he'll be at peace again. Why should I lose my peace? And that is important. And if you see, all this aspect of the Gita is just about bringing the samatha at all times. Again, samatha does not mean don't show your, show you are very weak. Or sometimes, no, no, I'll not get angry. And that was a big mistake I did when I had just started reading about. Actually, I got a book. First book for spiritual connection for me was by a friend who got a free book which he felt was useless for him. He gave it to me. It was on Dalai Lama. He had written Awakening the Mind, Lightening the Spirit. So I took it to a badminton tournament also because sometimes they make us wait for matches. So I just sat and started reading. Everybody saw that Dalai Lama is here. He is reading something about Buddhism. He is not going to get angry. He cannot get angry. Everybody took it. I became the target practice for everyone. He will not get angry because he is reading about not getting angry. So then that was the worst period for me because every single person came and tried to provoke me. Now, what have I done? I have only become a sitting duck, isn't it? Just I could have covered the book, or at least what is the real meaning of not what is swadharma, swarakshana, all those things have to be also understood, isn't it? Like, so I think Shashiji's example about somebody being sincere, yes, but sincerity should not be manipulated by somebody else. That much viveka should be used, and that much swadharma is required. But to understand that, we need to be very calm because it is said only when the person is calm. Or I think, as the mother has said, it's only in the calm that the divine works. That time, in that calmness, you can hear Krishna whisper to you. Krishna tells you what needs to be done. You can quietly, but you have to be quiet and you should not start imagining. Krishna told me to go eat whatever my favorite dish is. This is one very nice thing. I have big tendency to think Krishna wants me to eat this wrap or Krishna wants that. No, all of that is not Krishna. It is my desire. That much we must have the viveka to understand. To understand that, we must realize that Krishna is not going to speak from the stomach. He is going to speak from the psychic center, from the inner heart, that point, that quietude, we need to have that. And when we have that, we'll understand. Because Krishna here in this sloka also he says, when you have reached that, the victor of the self experiences the perfect peace, and in that greatest oneness, all fluctuations will cease. Meaning you can be blasted left, right, and center by everybody in the world, and still you can be in peace at that time. How difficult it is? Well, it's not difficult. If you are at peace, it doesn't make a difference whether people are throwing roses at you or people are just hurling abuses at you. Both should not make a difference if you are connected with the divine. Nothing is going to increase your value, nothing is going to lower your value. Your value is nothing without the divine. If you know this much, finished. And so, what is your value? My value is equal to the divine. Well, then the drop can feel as powerful as the ocean, also, isn't it? Why should the drop feel insignificant compared to the ocean? Oh, I am the drop of the ocean. I am the drop that makes the ocean. End of story. Where is my worth more or less? That aspect can be forgotten. So that fluctuation ceases neither in hot nor in cold, nor in loss nor in gain. Because sometimes we don't understand. Each of us is born with some set of prarabdhas. Why did this person get very good returns in stock market? We don't know. Why did I not get any returns? It's a different story for each person. We don't know what permutation, combination of karmic chains are happening. Look at Krishna's chain only, no? How many of us have been born in a jail like Krishna? Nobody. Our Aradhya, our Devat only had such a bad birth. Nobody to celebrate his birthday, no baby shower, nothing. In the jail. After that, he's then separated from his own dear parents. He has to leave his own parents and go. And what? Wherever he goes, Asuras are following him. You would think bhaktas should follow, but no, asuras are coming continuously behind more than the bhaktas initially. Yes, Rakhi wants to say something. Yes, please. Yes, Ji.
Yeah, um, I think when um one has that sambhav,
Yes, Ji.
uh, then one gets the viveka
Yeah.
uh, to uh,
Discriminate, no?
yeah,
What is right and wrong?
what is right and wrong, and also that you don't that one does not get humiliated or insulted by anybody else, in the
Yes,
sense
yes.
that we say that Swami Vivekananda, he was a realized soul,
Yeah.
so he would not take any insult just like that. So there are instances where people try to insult him, and he had the clarity
To
to
give it back.
respond, yeah, to respond in a very, very
Dignified manner.
uh, yeah, in a very measured way. uh,
Yes, yes.
so so I think it's only when one has reached that quietude that one is able to
Hmm.
understand and discriminate and also respond accordingly
Gee,
and not
absolutely.
react.
Absolutely. Rakesh has given a beautiful example of a young Narendra
Yeah,
who had
yeah.
awakened his Viveka and then got the Ananda and became Vivekananda.
Yeah.
Isn't it? He was able to discriminate, and that is a Sat Asat Vivek Buddhi which gets Jagrut. That is when you have Samatha, otherwise, it will not get Jagrut. That Vivek Buddhi will tell you when to speak, when not to speak, how to speak, how not to speak. That is there inside everybody. But for that, we need Samatha. Otherwise, if Samatha is not there, Vivek goes for vacation. Then we do something else and we get our consequences, karmic consequences. So for that, again, to cultivate that, there are different ways. Gita talks about dhyana and so many other aspects have to be done. Or again, connect with the divine. Keep the connect with the divine, you will get the guidance. God will bring you back on the right path, even if you are on the wrong path. But you have to have the sincerity and always have that yearning to always be connected with the divine. I don't want to even miss, I just want to be sincere and connect at all times. And because we are humans, we have this tendency of always, we have bad network. We need to somehow find a way to get that network with the divine. We don't have to come out of that network. Somehow we have to keep re-establishing it. Just two more shlokas and we complete. ज्ञान विज्ञान तृप्तात्मा कूटस्थो विजितेन्द्रियः युक्त इत्युच्यते योगी समलोष्टाश्म काञ्चनः. So nicely, Krishna is saying, he says, with the self's gnosis, poised he remains, unaffected by senses, and tranquil in all planes, and regards alike clay, gold, or stone towards all objects. And equanimity is shown. Means whether it is clay, whether it is gold, whether it is stone, this person is looking at all material objects also with oneness. Just because somebody has more wealth, we have the habit of sometimes we go respect people because they are having wealth.
Which is this
Is
shloka?
that yes, Rakiji, you're adding something?
Which chapter is this shloka?
This is the sixth adhyaya, eighth shloka ji.
Okay, ji. Thank you.
Yes, ji, Hari Om. So sometimes because this person is having more wealth, this person's philosophical thoughts are more valid. Because that person has less, this is not. It's not the case always, isn't it? Outer aspects. Where the value of gold is there, their value of gold should be there. Where the value of stone is there, can you replace all stone work with gold work? It's of no use. Gold does not have the strength that the stone has. And clay? What about clay? Well, clay has its own properties, isn't it? Somebody is wounded. Anybody knows clay has healing properties? So clay is
Yes.
used properly. Purest clay can actually work as cleanser. Try putting gold, it will not help anything. Somebody's wound has to be cleansed. That time you need clay only. So Krishna is saying samatha for clay, gold, and stone. He's not saying oneness. Some people can misinterpret this and say, oh, see, Krishna has told us, I want to give a test to everybody who has read the Gita, whether you are following or no. Send all the gold in your home to my place. I will return it with equal weight in stone or clay. Will that be accepted? Nobody will accept because
Mm.
we all know that Krishna is not asking us to be fools. Krishna is asking us to look at it with Viveka. He is not saying that all are one. But each has its place. Even if somebody gives you 1 ton of gold, 1 ton of gold in a desert, when you need 1 glass of water, what will you choose?
Water.
Badly you want water. You will take one glass of water, isn't it? What is this gold going to do anything to you there? Because where are you going to carry it? In the afterlife, nothing is going to be taken. That samatha is required. Otherwise, people don't realize. And seriously, people have paid money to get a better afterlife. An organization based in USA, I'm not taking a name, promised a good afterlife from claiming to be from the Sanatan fold only. If you transfer this much, I don't know what 3 BHK, 5 BHK in Swargalok. I don't know if they gave building plans, but what they were saying is they will get certain things done so that this person gets a great afterlife in Swargaloka because you have donated so much for this much punya you have done. This punya will allow you to get a, I don't know, seaside apartment with parking or what, I don't know, in Swargaloka. Who's going to go verify it? We don't know. But this is what happens. Samatha is lost. Suddenly a phone call comes, you have won 5 million or 5 lakh rupees, 50 lakh rupees, something like that. Somebody calls. And if your samatha is lost, you might actually get trapped. You might get trapped. This is how the lures, I mean, how we are allured into different karma bandhanas. It need not be only money also. Sometimes promotion, sometimes just good name. In the name of good name, people manipulate others. In the name of getting something in return, you are just promised something you like. You must be fully balanced. Just because somebody is there, you like a person, can that person take you away from your path of life? You cannot do that. But for that, we need samatha because without samatha, no sadhana is possible only, unfortunately. And we look at the last shloka. Krishna says, this is not the last one, but next shloka, last shloka for today. It says, Suhrun Mitra Yudasinam अध्यस्तद्वेष्य बन्धुषु साधुष्वपि च पापेषु समबुद्धिर विशिष्यते. Again, samabuddhi, Krishna is talking about what is most important. He says, the enemies or the friends who are dearest, sowers of discord, or the careless or indifferent nearest, the holy saint or the wretched sinner, he who as one perceives is the ultimate progressor. Enemies or the friends who are dearest. Now we see in politics, isn't it? At least Bharat is seeing who is the enemy, who is friend. We are not understanding only who is our good ally, who is our enemy. Because this is we are able to see with oneness. If you see the Bharat's foreign policy at this moment, in a very unsteady world, we are keeping the samatha. Everybody else are being pushed around by forces. But at least as of this moment, Krishna should keep protecting Bharat, that we remain in this Samata state. But in that state, whether it is a friend or whether it is, if a friend behaves wrong and friend starts hurting you, will you allow yourself to get hurt and get destroyed because that person is your friend? No. You have to keep the balance. No, this is not right. You say somebody is your, say, sworn enemy also. Sometimes from your sworn enemy only you can get your help done. You'll get help without, they will not do it willingly or consciously. Under some circumstance, it can come out, or isn't it? When we say Krishna says, or if Sri Aurobindo got the experience, Vasudevam Sarvamiti, the divine is everywhere. So why not? It can work through the enemy also, only may not be consciously. Sometimes God will keep enemy on particular road to tell you which road not to take. Yes, are you able to hear me?
You froze for a moment.
Hari Om. Can you hear me?
Can hear you now. You'd
Yes, please.
frozen.
Yes, see, there was a network drop. So probably computer's way of telling me follow Samatha and complete your in your time. So yes, so just last shloka only. So what we see here is sometimes even through enemies, the divine can work. Sometimes the enemy would be sent on a road just for one purpose to ensure which road you should not take. But for that, we need to have the samatha. So here, friends or enemies, sowers of discord. There are so many people like Shakuni who try to enjoy in our life by adding fuel to a fire, or sometimes starting the fire and then adding the fuel. Well, with balance, you can deal such people with such people also. Sometimes there are callous people. You help people, also the same people are coming to hurt you. That is difficult. Sometimes indifferent nearest, that is the most difficult. Sometimes you really care so much for somebody and that person only, like sometimes the person in front of you only is farthest away from you. That is the biggest pain. But Krishna says that is also okay. Just deal that with samatha. He says whether it is a saint or whether it is a sinner, treat everybody with oneness. One who sees that samatha is only the real progressor. The same scale for others, the same scale for us also, if we follow. So that is the entire crux of samatha, because samatha alone will allow us to have the connection with the divine. What happens with the divine connection? Well, that is something we will probably explore in another session sometime later. But to experience that, this samatha is something we must at all times try to practice with sincerity. So I think with this, we are ready to conclude our session today. If anybody wishes to ask or share something, you're welcome. Or we conclude with the Shanti Mantra. Yes, please. All right, then I think we conclude with the Shanti Mantra. Hari Om. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayah, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschit dukha bhag bhavet. Hari Om.
Hari
That's
Om,
it.
Hari Om,
Krishna Jai.
Hari Om,
Hari Om. I
Hari Om,
hope we can
Hari Om, Hari
meet
Om,
again
Bappa.
next Wednesday.
Hari Om,
Hari Om.
Saraswati.
Hari
Yes,
Om
sir.
ji.
Hari Om, Hari
Hari
Om,
Om ji.
Hari Om, Sukham.
Hari Om ji. Namaskar, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Sushruti,
Yes, Rakhi ji, you want to add something?
Yeah.
Yes, ji.
So today what we have discussed the concept of samatha, which means even-mindedness. It
Yeah.
means that not get attached to the results, whether I succeed or I fail, right?
To me,
And
it
that
means to be connected with the divine and have oneness ji, at all times. Whether you succeed or whether you fail, keeping that balance on the inside. Same oneness.
okay, okay, and that comes only when I don't have that uh, feeling of doership.
Yes, ji. Absolutely.
All right, Ji. Thank you.
Ji, ji.
Thank you
Thank
so
you, ji.
much.
Hari Om ji. Namaskar.
Hari Om, sir. Can we have a section on free will and destiny? Prarabdha and
Okay.
Purusha, sir, once.
Okay, ji. All right, ji.
Thank you,
Okay.
sir.
It is then the 18th Adhyaya of the Gita. 5 factors Krishna says. It will be something which will be interesting to look at. All right, ji. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Hari
Maybe
Om.
next Wednesday. Hari Om.
Hari Om, sir.
Hari Om.
Hari Om ji.